A darkness loomed ominously over the great town of Farrennest, the once vibrant desert settlement, now shrouded in the creeping tendrils of corruption. The blackstone streets, usually bustling with activity, were slick with an eerie geyser rain that fell like tar, each drop resonating with a malevolent energy. The townsfolk huddled in their homes, their fear palpable, as the thunderous roar of the Beast of Thornwoods echoed through the narrow alleyways. The beast was a nightmarish creation, a twisted abomination that bore the unmistakable mark of Nico's dark influence. Its form was monstrous, a grotesque amalgamation of thorned branches and inky blackness that seemed to shift and ride with a life of its own. It moved with a bear-like gait, though its shape was never constant, morphing between solid and spectral, as it crushed the town's walls with terrifying ease. This creature was no mere beast of the wild. It was a perversion, a corruption of Lucius's once proud animals, now twisted to serve the malevolent whims of the first devil. The protectors of Farrennest, brave souls sworn to defend the town, rushed to the aid of their people, filling the roads and guiding citizens back to the safety of the inner keep. But despite their valor, the protectors were no match for the beast. It tore through their ranks with savage ferocity, each fallen knight rising moments later as a corrupted shadow of their former selves, their bodies twisted and grotesque, fighting alongside the very creature that had slain them. The streets, once a haven, had become a battlefield of nightmare and despair. Amidst the chaos, FarrenLord Resdro, the town's noble leader, stood at the window of his keep, watching as his people were slaughtered and the town he had sworn to protect was brought to its knees. His half-brother, a man of caution and strategy, urged him to remain within the safety of the keep, to govern from within the walls while the protectors did their duty. But Resdro was not a man to cower behind stone while his people suffered. The fires of duty and honor burned too brightly in his heart to allow him to stand idle. Without a word, Resdro donned his armor, the cold steel gleaming with determination. He strapped his mace to his side, the weapon a symbol of his unwavering resolve, and left the safety of his chambers. The echo of his footsteps through the halls of the keep was drowned out by the distant cries of battle and the roar of the beast. His half-brother watched him go, his face a mask of concern, but Resdro did not look back. His mind was set, his heart hardened. He would not be the lord who watched from the shadows as his people were slaughtered. As Resdro stepped out into the night, the air thick with the scent of blood and corruption, he felt the weight of his responsibility settle on his shoulders. This was his town, his people, and he would not let them fall. He marched forward, his mace held high, ready to face the beast that had brought such terror to Farrennest. The protectors who still fought on saw their lord emerge and rallied to his side, their spirits lifted by his presence. But the beast was a force unlike any other, a dark reflection of the evil that had taken root in the world. Resdro knew that this battle would not be easily won, but he also knew that he could not turn away. He was their leader, their protector, and he would fight, even if it meant facing the darkness alone. Resdro came face to face with the beast. It towered over him, a monstrous mass of thorns and darkness, its form shifting and twisting like a nightmare-made flesh. The rain, thick and black as ink, dripped from its spiked hide, staining Resdro's armor further, obscuring the once bright gold trim until it was nearly invisible. The beast's growls echoed through the streets, reverberating with an unsettling, almost human-like quality that sent a chill down the Lord's spine.
"Be gone, foul monster,"
Resdro bellowed, his voice filled with the strength of desperation and determination.
"Feast on my people no more, or I will feast on your heart and still have room for seconds."
The beast snarled in response, its breath foul and putrid like the stench of decay. As it moved, Resdro caught sight of the grotesque armor it bore, an exoskeleton fashioned from the bones of the dead. His heart sank as he recognized the remains of his people, his knights, melded into the creature's form. The horror of it only steeled his resolve.
"Those remains will return to those they belong to,"
Resdro roared.
"They will be buried in the dirt, honored as they deserve, along the rest of your cursed bones."
With a mighty swing, Resdro whipped his mace around and struck the beast's side. The impact sent a shudder through the creature, bones cracking and splintering away from the thorny vines and inky tendrils that made up its body. The beast yelped in pain, a sound that was both animalistic and disturbingly human. But the beast retaliated with ferocity, swiping at Resdro with its massive claws. The blow landed with crushing force, sending the Lord skidding across the slick cobblestones, his armor denting under the pressure. Yet, against all odds, Resdro stood, defying the pain that coursed through his battered body. He mumbled a prayer, a mantra from his youth as an adventurer, a time when he had discovered this land with his companion Farren, and established the settlement that bore his name. Those Resdro pressed forward, his mace swinging again and again, smashing into the beast's grotesque armor, determined to reach the dark, twisted flesh beneath.
"My God, Keons,"
he muttered between strikes.
"when you led me and Farren to this land, to witness the nest of falcons being born, you gave me an order."
Another swing, another crash of bone and thorn.
"That order,"
he growled,
"was to protect these beings in this land. You said aid would come to me when I needed it most."
With a final, powerful blow, Resdro shattered the exoskeleton, protecting the beast's head, revealing the thorny branches beneath. The beast screeched in pain, its form writhing in agony. Resdro's mace came down again, finally tearing through the inky skin, exposing the dark flesh that lurked within. But before he could strike again, the beast retaliated with a ferocious swipe, faster than Resdro could react. The blow sent him sprawling onto the blood-slicked street. He struggled to rise, only to realize with a sinking dread that his arm, the one that had wielded his mace, was no longer attached to his body. It lay on the ground, severed at the shoulder, the weapon still clutched in his lifeless hand. Resdro knew then that his time had come. He had fought valiantly, but this would be his end.
"Oh, brother, listen,"
he whispered, his voice faltering.
"I hope you can watch over Farrennest." "Oh, I God, Keons. I am ready for the great pilgrimage."
As Resdro closed his eyes, preparing to meet his fate, a brilliant flash of light exploded at his feet. The brilliance cut through the darkness, illuminating the entire town square. When Resdro dared to open his eyes again, he saw a figure standing between him and the beast, a figure radiant with divine power.